Hi, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel. If you'd like to take your sewing to the next level, you are in the right place. So I just want to say that I am so humbled and encouraged and in shock. My channel has had a tremendous amount of growth, and I just want to thank you for watching, for subscribing, and being part of the community that I'm trying to build here. If you're not part of our community, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if you're not tuned into our Facebook group, please go ahead and check that out. It's the Dorothy's Daughter community group on Facebook, and we really encourage each other, help each other. I usually check about twice a day, and I'll notice that you guys have helped each other already by the time I check the second time. So it's wonderful. It's a fantastic group of women, so please take part. And we're open to having some, I don't think there's any men in our group right now, but we are definitely open to having some men in there as well. So today I'd like to give you a pattern review of the Slow Sunday top and dress by Ellie Mac. It's a fantastic pattern. I wanted to give you some details about it. But first I just want to, since a lot of you guys are new here, I'd like to go ahead and let you know kind of how I do pattern reviews. I have like several different areas that I look at, and I'm always open to suggestions if there's other things you would like to know. First thing I look at is wearability. I mean, what good are clothes if you don't want to wear them? So I look at whether or not this is something that I would want to wear, and would I wear it a lot? Would I get my cost per wear out of investing in the fabric for it? Second, I look at ease of construction. Not that everything has to be easy. I actually enjoy some things that are hard, but is it what I want for the time? And I think it's important that you know whether or not this is going to be something that's more difficult or not. The third thing I look at is size inclusion, and I just want to make sure that every woman can feel beautiful. So I want to make sure that those sizes go down as far as possible and up as far as possible. And I'm always going to give kudos to those companies that serve the population of being plus size, and it's just as hard, I think, to be a small person. So either way, I like to share what I know about the size inclusiveness of the product and of the designer. The next thing I like to go over are the fabric choices for the pattern. Are they expensive? Are they readily available? Do you have to go and get something that's not something you can pick up at your local fabric store? Is it something that you're going to have to order and take a long time to get? Just things I think you should know. Not that that should deter you from doing the pattern, but it's just good to know. And how expensive are the fabrics that it calls for? So those are some things I like to look at as well. So then I just like to sort of sum it up by saying whether I would make it again and how much I'm enjoying wearing the ones that I have made. So that is kind of how I do pattern reviews. I try to keep them the same. That way they're uniform, and I'm going to hit the areas that I think that people want to know about. And like I said, if there's any areas that I'm not covering, please let me know, either in the Facebook group or in the comments. Please let me know, and I will take that into account. Okay? So let me get to the details. All right, this is a top and dress. The dress has two sort of views. One is a full swing dress, and one is more of a straight cut. And then the top has either short sleeves or racerback, and the necklines can vary as well. They can be a V-neck, they can be a scoop neck, a high scoop neck, or a mid scoop neck. So there's a lot of choices, which is what makes this such a versatile pattern. So I made 3 of them, and I think it says a lot about a pattern when you can make a little black dress suitable to wear to a fancy dinner and a tank top for going to a picnic out of the same pattern. And that's exactly what I've done. So I made 3 versions. I made the top I'm wearing. This is the V-neck short sleeve version. I made the racerback tank. And I also made the full swing dress with short sleeves and a scoop neck. So I tried to hit most of the variations, as many as I could in the 3 garments. So the first category is wearability. Wow, are these wearable? Like I said, if you can take a pattern and make a little black dress for like a cocktail dress and also a racerback tank top out of the same pattern, that's a versatile pattern. Since it's made with 4-way stretch fabrics, it's very comfortable, just very easy to wear. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. I wanted to just kick the dress up a notch and give it something a little bit extra. So I went ahead and made ruffles for the neckline. And that was turned out to be really exactly the way I had pictured it. Here's my drawing that I did when I was planning it. And I don't know if you've seen my video on planning out your projects with my body model, but it's a wonderful thing to have. This is exactly my measurements on a croquis, which is really nice to have. You can see exactly how things are going to look on you. And I actually planned it out, and it ended up looking pretty much like that, with the exception of I did not put the ruffles on the sleeve. And I'm going to have a little tutorial at the end of how to do that, and I will go ahead and kind of fill you in as to why I did not put them on the sleeve. The next thing is ease of construction. These were very easy to put together, very quick. There were no tricky bits at all. If you've done any kind of a knit neckline, then you know that they can be tricky if you're not used to them, but once you get them, they're super easy. So if you're new to that, take your time, quarter it like the directions say. I do have a video, and I'll put a card up here that tells you where that video is, how we put in a neckline. And basically, you just, divide it into quarters, and then you're also going to divide it into eighths if you want a little bit more control. And that's what I suggest if you're just starting out, is to go ahead and divide that into eighths, and then you only have, this far to stretch in between each section. So anyway, the ease of construction. The construction was super easy, and I had no issues whatsoever. Nothing tricky except a knit neckband, and if you don't know how, it's super easy. Just take your time, and once you do one, you'll have to do maybe 2 or 3, and then it's no big deal. So I actually really enjoy finishing necklines that way. So the next category that I look at usually is sizing. And this pattern goes from extra, extra small to 6XL. Enough said, super inclusive. And this is true of most of Ellie and Mac patterns. So kudos to them, because inclusiveness is really, really important to me. So I don't really have a point system with these kind of reviews, but if I did, this points for size inclusivity would be off the charts for this pattern. It's wonderful. As far as the materials used for this pattern, you can use any 4-way stretch. On the black dress, I used Ponte-Roma. It was a rayon, so it was a nice high quality Ponte. And then I used cotton lycra, the 95.5 for the Racerback tank. And for this one, this is a double brush polyester. So it's very lightweight, but it is polyester, so it could be a little bit warmer. It's nice for a day like today that's in the low 80s. Probably if it was a 100-degree day, this might not be my choice to wear. So definitely the cotton lycra tank would be what I would choose that day. As far as the amount of fabric needed for each one of these, it ranges anywhere from 3/4 of a yard for the tank for the smaller sizes, up to like 2.5 or so for the dress. So it's really makes good use of fabric. I got this top out of just under 2 yards. I got the Racerback tank out of 1 yard, and I got the dress out of a little over 2. Obviously, when you have a full or half circle skirt, it's going to take a little bit more fabric. So I was expecting that the dress would take a little bit more. So let me show you my versions here as I've been talking about them. Here is my little black dress. I absolutely love this. I cannot wait. I told my husband I need to go somewhere. We need to go somewhere really dressy so I can wear this. So just throw on a couple of, a little flash of color with the necklace and maybe some pumps. Like I pictured a red necklace and red pumps. I don't know. I didn't do that today because it was just a sandals kind of day for me. So I left my sandals on, but it really could be dressed up to be really a knockout. So I really enjoy that dress. I cannot wait to wear it. This one, I just made straight the tank. I made a size XXL on all of these. I made no size adjustments on any of these whatsoever. The Ellie Mac XXL size actually is completely my body measurements. So I have never hardly, the only adjustments I ever have to make to their patterns is to lengthen the bodice, which I didn't even do in this case. So no adjustments, fit right out of the get-go. Basically, would I make it again? I will make this again, absolutely. I love this pattern. It's a great addition to my collection. So if you would like to purchase the Slow Sunday pattern, I do have an affiliate link below. Not that you have to do it that way, but if you do, it does help the channel. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make the ruffles with the serger. It's super easy. Most sergers can do it if you have differential feed, and it's extremely fun, and it can be a really neat way to dress up any old top or dress. So one note on adding the ruffles to this particular neckline, the ruffles don't stretch. Okay, so even though it's a knit, once you gather them with the non-stretch thread, they will no longer stretch. However, the neckline, the scoop neckline that I chose, well fit over my head without any problems. So, you know, the shoulders and arms and everything else stretches, so it's fine. But just make sure that if you do make the ruffles out of a knit and you add them to a knit project, that it's not in an area that you need to stretch more in order to take it on and off, because that would be, it would just pop the stitches. So just a warning on that. It's no longer stretch once you gather it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So in order to make a ruffle, you're going to have to go ahead and increase your differential feed to 2, or just what you want to do, you just want it to be higher, because basically you want it to feed through the top faster than the bottom so that it'll gather. And then you want to put your stitch length on about 3 to 4. And then part is real important. You want your thread tension of the needles, not the loopers, but the needles. You want those up quite high, like 7 or 8. They say like anywhere between 6 to 8, but I kind of put mine at about 7. Then I got a really nice gather. Okay, and then all you do is go ahead and feed it through. This is with one single layer. I did notice that when I tried to fold it over and gather it double, it didn't gather. So you need a single layer. If it's any kind of heavy fabric, you're going to want a single layer. This is not a special foot of any kind. I think you could get a special foot that would allow you to like sew it to a flat layer at the same time. But if you just want to make a ruffle trim, you don't need anything special. So I'm going to go ahead and just start feeding my fabric. Just go ahead and sew it. And you can see how nice little ruffles. Hope the camera can see that. I used white thread so you could see the contrast. And that's how I made the ruffle trim. What I did for this edge is I did a rolled hem first on there, and then I did the gathering stitch. And you could do this with wovens for kids' clothes. You could just go crazy with that. Much quicker than a gathering foot for your sewing machine for sure. All right, I just wanted to show you that. So I thought maybe you guys would enjoy that little bit of fun trim. I have a lot of viewer makes to show you, and I'm going to wait until the next video because I need to sit down and compile them and make sure that I don't forget anyone. They're just so awesome. So I think pretty soon we're going to have to start having just a little slideshow at the end because we're getting quite a few, and that's amazing. So anyway, keep sharing your viewer makes, and I will definitely show them on air. So I have a lot to catch up on, so we'll do that next time. All right. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow with another installment of the pants fitting video. This one will be the adjustments in the back. And those will be all the basic adjustments. And then we're going to look at muslins. And then we're just going to enjoy our finished pants. So we're almost there. So have a fantastic day. Also set aside some time Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern for a chat. You can come in and answer questions. And I look forward to getting to know all the new people very well. We have some regulars here. We've all become friends. And our family's just getting bigger. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Happy sewing.